Hey, Brennan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got my 2025 running back show 3.0 for you here today. We're through week 12 of college football and it is time that I update my top 20 running backs on the channel. Did this about a month and a half ago and I'll be doing it each and every month as we head to the NFL draft. I've done a quarterback show, wide receiver, tight end show as well. Have some 2.0 shows out on them, and we'll be continuing to do all four positions as we go to the NFL draft. This is your first time here on the channel. Welcome. So yeah, man, it is a deep 2025 running back class, and we're going to talk about them. I'm going to put them in tiers, talk about my top 20 that I think are going to hit our dynasty rosters. Really interesting. It's a deep class, right? I mean, it's probably the positional strength of the class overall, at least from a fantasy standpoint. And I think we're going to get 6-7 good starters out of this group. But the interesting thing is, don't be surprised if a lot of these backs go back for their senior year. Not all, but the majority of the running backs I'm going to talk about today, a good part of them are only juniors and have the ability to go back as seniors. So just like TreVeyon Henderson did last year and Blake Corum did last year. I mean, 2 years ago, it was not unexpected. But it's going to be fun nonetheless going through the list. Again, if you want to support the channel, check out the website below. I do shows like this all the time on this channel. And this Big Boards product that I have, I've got positional classes for 2025, 2026, and 2027 already ranked for future rookie drafts that you'll be involved in down the road. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the show. So I always like to give history lessons when I do this. All right. So we're going to talk about round one, tier one prospects. Okay. So I like to give history. 2024, we had 0 running backs taken last year in the first round. 2023, we had Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. And now both of those players profiled as tough, physical, but explosive running backs, right? So that's why they were taken in round one in the draft. So I think we're only going to get one guy in this draft. And I know a lot of mocks out there are saying we're going to get 2 or 3. I'm not buying it. I think only one back comes off the board, and that is Ashton Jeanty. I mean, he is just a explosion machine. What does he score? Like 3 freaking touchdowns every week. I mean, his PFF grades, I'm looking at it on the show sheet here, like off the charts, 7.4 average. He's got by far the best elusive rating from PFF at 219. He's an RB1, I think, for everybody. He's probably could be the overall rookie pick in every draft this off season, even in super flex leagues. I mean, that's how exciting, and we're all just keeping our fingers crossed for that great landing spot. To really vault him into our dynasty stardom. All right. So I only think there's one guy. All right. One guy, because there's so much depth to this class. I think teams are going to be like, I'm going to take that pass rusher. I'm going to take that corner, that safety, and I'll just punt the running back position. That's so deep. I'm going to wait. So don't be surprised if some of these guys fall down the board because there's just so many options this year. All right. Oh, a little before we go further. So in 2024, 20 running backs were drafted overall. And in 2023, 18. So the 20 that I'm talking about today are the ones that I think have the best chance of hitting, are getting really drafted. All right. It could be more than that because it is a deep class. Just wanted to throw that out there for context. All right. Last year, Jonathan Brooks came out round 2. 2023, we only had one back 2 and Zach Charbonnet. I may be missing somebody from last year. My show notes say 2, but I only have Jonathan Brooks listed. But in any case, 2 or 1 really is all we're going to get. I think there's 3 potential running backs that can come off the board here. My first one is Quinshon Judkins. As you know, he transferred from Ole Miss, goes to Ohio State, having a good season. Not spectacular, but he's sharing the ball with TreVeyon Henderson, a running back that we're going to talk a little bit later. But I think he's got the best blend of like power, physicality, decent change of direction skills. He's an average pass catcher, not something he is prolific at by any means, but certainly serviceable. But he's a tough physical interior runner, and that has a value in NFL. And I think that he potentially can get round 2 draft capital. I'm not necessarily talking about these players in each tier like in the order that I'm ranking them so much, as just that this is where I think they're going to fall in the draft. Caleb Johnson, Iowa running back, 6 foot 225 pounds, 3-year true junior. Okay. Quinshon Judkins is a junior as well. But Caleb Johnson here, I mean, has just exploded onto the scene. Again, he has a very good elusive rating at 139, probably in the top 4 of the class, 4.7 yards of yards after contact. So just, really good running back. He's explosive. And for that size, 6', 225 pounds, I consider him to be an explosive running back who's got the ability to make guys miss and do some damage in the second level, an exciting running back. So, so far so good. We'll see how he continues for the rest of this year, but he's a back that I think could sneak up there and be a sneaky day 2, early day 2 pick. All right. The other guy we got to talk about is Marion Hampton, who was RB2 for a lot of people. He's not my RB2 only. I just posted a film actually on this YouTube channel, so go check that out. 6', 220 pounds. This guy is a 3-down bell cow. The film that I made really showcased his receiving ability and his great second level navigation, an explosive big running back. The thing, I just look at him, I just wish there was a little bit more lateral movement. He is a one-cut north-south runner, not a guy that's going to, but at that size, he's not going to make a ton of guys miss. But overall, a really good skill set for a team. I could see him going to the Dallas Cowboys. I know everyone's hoping Genty goes there, but I could see Hampton as a 3-down physical bell cow going from those light blue North Carolina uniforms to the star helmet. I think everybody would be super excited. I can tell you right now, he's going to be one of the top backs drafted overall anyway, but if he goes to the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, he might just be the solid RB2 given the opportunity there. All right, so that rounds out these are the only 3 guys that I think can get round 2 draft capital. So let's go to round 3 again. It's still in my tier 2 of players. Last year, we had 3 players taken here for context. We had Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Marshawn Lloyd. Back in 2023, Kendre Miller, Tajay Spears, and Tank Bigsby, and A-Chain. So, those are the kind of backs that we're looking at, coming off the class. Guys that can get on the field early and produce. And some of these guys are still waiting their turn. All right, Jonah Coleman is a running back that I really like out of Washington. 5'9", 225 pounds. He's got 4.5 yards after contact. His elusive rating is second best in this class that we're going to talk about backs at 165. 5.8 average, 9 TDs. The dude has not fumbled one time in 3 seasons, and he's getting plenty of carries. So I love his ball security. I love the low center of gravity. Love backs this at 5'9", 225. So he's short and he's really built solidly, but he's got that change of direction skills. He's got the vision. He's got the ability to make guys miss, and I love the physical finishes when you watch his film. I'm excited to put some films out on this YouTube channel of Jonah Coleman. I think he's a little underrated right now. My next back here, the 6th back we want to talk about today, Trevion Henderson, 5'10", 212 pounds. Now, what we all wanted to see, he is a senior. Coleman is a junior as well. He could legitimately go back to Washington. But Henderson, we wanted to see him stay healthy this year and not get nicked up. Now, he's sharing the backfield with Judkins, so he's not getting that full bell cow role on a week-to-week basis. And I don't know how NFL teams are going to feel about that, because when he has given that heavy workload role, he has always seemed to get nicked up. So he's probably going to be viewed by an NFL team, a guy that they're not going to look for him to be, getting the ball a ton, but maybe he has that ability, but to bring him on bring him in the team and have him be a good explosive partner in a backfield. But man, the guy's got all the ability to be a home run hitter. He's fun to watch, and he's explosive, and he's had some great moments this year. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's had 1 fumble. Again, I like ball security, but 1 fumble in all 4 seasons. So, stock up, for Trevion Henderson. I think, because he's been able to stay healthy, hopefully that continues for the rest of this year. I think he's going to have a good combine, and I think teams are going to be interested in him as a round 3, late day 2 pick. All right, 2 more guys I want to talk about in round 3 here. Dylan Sampson, 5'11", 200 pounds. Man, this guy is explosive, productive. Now, he's had 3 fumbles this year, 4 in he is also a junior. Elusive rating, not so great. Yards after contact, 3.51. 21 touchdowns, though, man. This guy is just has a nose for the end zone. He's a little good out. He's had 15 receptions so far out of the backfield, so he's serviceable as a receiving back as well, man. But Jalen Wright goes to Miami. He had to wait his turn here patiently at Tennessee. He's showcasing his skills, and we know 5'11", 200. It's not really considered undersized anymore. We see James Cook in Buffalo and some of these smaller receivers now. If they've got the genetics to be physically strong, given the smaller stature of size, I think they can work inside. Devon Achane, same thing. Smaller guy who is just physically tough to be able to withstand that. So Dylan Sampson could have a major role in a backfield. He is a fun player to watch. I'll be putting some films out on the YouTube channel here as well. All right, this surprise might be a little pick. This pick might be a little bit of a surprise. Nick Singleton, I'm still a believer. 6 foot, 226 pounds. My son goes to Penn State. I watch all the Penn State games, and man, he is just being used in the receiving game here really, really good this season. So he's really showcasing, he's had 24 receptions this year already, which is, much higher than previous seasons. In between the tackles, he's having a much better season. My podcast co-host, Jason DiRienzo, and we did a lot of all 22 film breakdowns. These films are the ones that you get if you were to join my big board service. He looked like really just uninterested last year. He's coming back and having a really nice season at Penn State. So I think, if he continues and they go well into the playoffs and he gets he's got some explosive runs and plays on tape this year. And back in 2023, he did not. And, we want to see how these players win, and those wow moments are what we want to see. All right. So I think those are the backs that can come off round 3. Now, round 4 and later is where the meat and potatoes, I think, of the majority of these running backs are coming off. All right. In 2024, we had 7: Jalen Wright, Bucky Irving, Will Shipley, Ray Davis, Garendo, the Sion Vaki kid, and Braylon Allen, right? All round 4 backs. A lot of these guys, Bucky Irving, Jalen Wright, Bucky Irving is killing it down there at Tampa. Braylon Allen, everybody was excited about, but the Jets are the Jets, so they're just not that good. 2023, we only had 1 running back taken. That was Roschon Johnson. All right, so we have the ability here to have a lot of backs come off, starting in, and this is early, day 3 territory. All right, so I'm going to run through these relatively quickly. Jordan James, 5'10", 210 pound, true junior, 5.6 average. Really a solid running back. Not a lot of people maybe have not been watching Oregon play, but if you do, this guy has got some skill. Love his ability to navigate the trenches. I think his vision is very good. I'm going to be, again, doing some films on him. 5'10", 210 pounds, has that physicality that you love to see, low center of gravity type player as well. I'll tell you, the next guy I want to talk about, I can't believe that I'm talking about him, but I think after watching his game, I forget who he played, Raheem Sanders at number 10. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that. If you've been a listener of my podcast or videos on this YouTube channel in the past, Raheem Sanders I felt was just overvalued for years. He had 3 years in Arkansas. He's a true senior this year. Transfers to South Carolina. I put out an very impressive film review of him not too long ago. I suggest you go check that out on the channel. Posted it like a week or two. Big rebound season, man. He showed for his size, 6'2", 242 pounds. His sweet feet, man, the footwork, ability to make guys miss, the physicality, had some really great passes out of the backfield. He's got 19 receptions already this year. Just impressed me immensely. And if there's a team out there looking for a Braylon Allen type, this guy is going to fit the bill, and he just was impressive. So I had to put him here as a early day 3 selection. Brashard Smith, another guy that I recently put a film out on this YouTube channel, 5'10", 196 pound running back from SMU. I'll tell you what, man, this guy just reminds me of like a James Cook. Everyone's been talking about this. I mean, the comp right now is Tyrone Tracy from last year, right? This guy's a converted, wide receiver. He was 3 years in Miami, playing primarily wide receiver, did a little running back as well. But man, he goes to SMU, and now he's, got over 1,000 yards as a first-time year runner, 12 TDs. He does have 3 fumbles, which he's got to clean up. But this guy, I just put a film out. Go check it out, man. I mean, he is explosive as anything. A little thin, little side, 5'10", 196. But again, explosive player where I could see a team wanting, a Lightning to a team that already having a Thunder. And this guy just posted his game against Boston College. undersized, explosive. Go check that out. I think it'll speak for itself. The film will do it justice more than I can describe it right now. All right, Damien Martinez, 6 foot, 232-pound running back. Most people are going to hear this and be like, huh, who? Damien Martinez, man, I'd still have something in my heart for Damien Martinez. Played at Oregon State for 2 years, transfers to Miami, 5.7 average, 680 yards, 8 TDs, over 4 yards after contact. So again, he's had some really good games here lately. Took him a little while to get started in Miami, but Miami playing with Cam Ward and stuff like that. Keep your eye on Damien Martinez. I'm still a believer that this guy at 6 foot, 232 pounds has got the lateral ability at that size to, and footwork and really quick feet and the movement skills that I look for in running backs, given that size and then the power. I want to see him play with a little bit more pad level and a little bit more physicality, which I didn't see early in the season, but later in the season, I watch his every game because I'm so interested in this player. I'm starting to see him come into his own and starting to get a little bit more comfortable. So keep your eye on Damien Martinez. All right, that rounds out my round 4. And again, some of these guys could switch from round 4 to round 5 because we're like kind of all in this is like the team. We're in the area now where the team is like, take your flavor. Do you want the bigger guy with the size, or do you want the smaller guy who's got the pass catching ability, a little bit more explosive? So you're going to see a lot of these guys kind of maybe move up and down within this range. In round 5, 2024, we had Estime come off the board, Tyrone Tracy come off the board. In 2023, we have Chase Brown coming off the board. We had Abanikanda, Eric Gray, and Evan Hall. They didn't pan out. So, this is the round, even round 5 backs. Some of them can hit and be producers. First guy I want to talk about is DJ Giddens, 6'1", 212 pounds from Kansas State, having another phenomenal season, over 1,000 yards, 6.5 average, 4.08 yards after contact, having a really, really nice season. Good elusive rating at 120 as well. Good pass catching back. He's got 17 receptions out of the backfield. But, I was a little rough on him early in my analysis, but this year he seems to be growing into his role a little bit more. So I'm excited to see him continue. Woody Marks is probably one of the hottest names right now out there. A lot of people have Woody Marks in their top 5, 6 backs. I'm not there. He's having a great year at USC, 3 years at Miami. He was, where was he? He was Mississippi State, I think. But now at USC and just absolutely killing it right there. And I just did an all 22 film breakdown with Jason, my podcast co-host, that I put in, again, you'd be able to have access to this if you join my big boards thing. And we broke it down, and he's a good player, man. Good vision, good patience at the line of scrimmage. He's got the ability to go where he's supposed to go. The one thing we talked about in him is his ability to redirect in the second level when he's got momentum. Sometimes suffers, and he's more into a straight ahead guy versus making a lot of guy miss in the second level. But overall, used in the passing game as well, having a really good season at USC. Ollie Gordon coming in here. I think he could come off here around here. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking Ollie Gordon should be way higher. Well, at the beginning of the year, he was one of the favorite backs, like to be a top 5 back. But unfortunately this year, he's averaging 4 yards a carry. He's had 9 TDs. He's had 2 fumbles. His yards after contact are 2.96, an elusive rating of 70. And, my podcast co-host Jason and I, ever since we watched his film last year, we weren't really big fans. We just didn't see the ability to make guys miss, and his lateral ability, we just didn't think was like really great. A good running back, but not worthy of like a top 5 discussion. But, he's definitely got the skill set to succeed in the NFL. So this is where I got him. Kyle Monangai from Rutgers having another solid season. This guy is what I call the model of consistency when it comes to running backs. Each and every game, he's just, putting in, just really good games. And you like what he sees. He's got good size, so he's going to be, again, just one of those great, like middle of the range day 3 backs. We saw Isaiah Pacheco come from Rutgers, so could Kyle Monangai be a guy that is part of a backfield and gets some run? Most likely a backup at the NFL, but you never know. Phil Maffa coming in here, 6 foot, 230 pounds. Having a really good season at Clemson. If there's an NFL team out there that just wants a big, and this could go for Kyle as well, just a big, physical, serviceable running back like a Roschon Johnson, so one of these guys that can come in and just be a good second, third back on a team to fill the need for an injury or something like that. I mean, Phil Maffa fits the mold if they were looking for a good, solid back. This isn't a guy that's going to make a lot of guys miss, but he has the ability to move piles. He's got the ability to find the gaps, and really just do some interior damage with his physicality. All right, Devin Neal. This guy was a pre-draft darling before the season this year. 5'11", 210 pounds, having a good season. He's just an overall really good running back. Has got some ability to make guys miss. Has really good lateral ability. He's always been a good pass catcher. I just don't see, when I watch Devin Neal, I just don't see enough just like wow moments, and just like he's a good running back. I just don't, can't put him in the top 10. There's just nothing about his game, that screams elite to me, but a good overall back. So we got two more we're going to talk about. Jaden Ott from Cal. He is a junior. I could see him going back. A lot of people like him. He came out of the gate as a freshman, like catching the ball, and everyone got like super excited. And ever since then, he had the good season last year. This year, I think he's been nicked up a little bit, but he's only averaging 3 yards a carry, only 9 missed tackles for. So I think this is a guy that will come back for his senior year. This is kind of like the Trevion Henderson from last year, kind of was nicked up this year, just not having the greatest season. It's like, come back, get your nil money, come back for your senior year. There's no reason for these juniors in this class to have to rush to go to the NFL. There's some decent landing spots available out there, but I don't think there's outside of a handful of teams that are just dying for a running back. And they might get better draft capital next year with better experience. I think the NFL wants these kids maybe to stay in a little longer, get a little bit more run, get a little bit more, experience. All right, Taj Brooks is the last guy I want to talk about. 5'10", 230 pounds. Again, this guy is one of these just consistently 100-yard game. Just, again, a one-cut, really physical, bruising running back. Not somebody, I think, who's got really any elite skills to be in a backfield other than a serviceable, like I said before, for an injury. This is where we are at the end of the draft anyway. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about his overall skill set. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. This is where I see him. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Who's too high? Who's too low? Did I leave somebody off? Like I said, I'm going to be doing these updates for all the positions: QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I'm going to be dropping all sorts of great, scouting films, and I'm here to help you get ready for your 2025 rookie draft. So thanks for watching.